Hey, it's Floki. I had a pass on the Block Hermit server. I wanted to show you guys something I built a while ago, and I'm starting to try and get to, so I'm using it again. So what I'm going to show you today is my Wither skeleton farm and the setup I've got to it, which I haven't seen anybody else do. I'm sure somebody else has tried to do this before, where you collect creepers and charge them and then use them to go and create your wither skeleton drops, because 100% of wither skeletons that are killed by charged creepers drop heads. So you can significantly increase your rate of creeper head drops. So where we start out here, this is in the overworld, obviously, and kind of just randomly ended up in the desert. I personally like fighting in the desert against mobs. It's easier because you've got less things to hide. You don't have green, which kind of hides creepers. So what I usually do is I'll go and basically stake out here during the night, and I've got a cell here that only lets creepers, and it also lets some other things in. It can let baby zombies in, but for the most part, it lets only creepers in, and I can control that. And so the idea is that you get a creeper to come in here. I've got a block here so I can go and name the creeper, and then I collect the creeper. So I've got a system here where I can hit the button, it starts my minecart going around until it gets picked up, and then what happens then is whenever I actually pick them up, I hit this toggle switch, which sends them over there, and then pushes them into the pit here. They're all named, so they will not despawn then. So that's kind of the phase one to this, is just to go and collect a whole bunch of creepers and get them named. Part of what happens too is this actually goes and collects the mine carts, and actually whenever this activates, it actually sends the mine carts all the way back and over to here. So it's a nice little cycle there. So that's like stage one. Stage two is during a thunderstorm. What I've got here is a simple, and actually this is activated over here. I've got an active button here, so I can activate my rail here so that I can pick up a creeper, and it brings them up here, drops him off. Again, I'm recycling the minecart. And then what he'll do is he'll see me here. I leave this closed. It's open to the air, so I can go and, if it's a thunderstorm, it's the intent here is to do this during the thunderstorm, I can charge him. And I've got water around here because in testing, I had some issues where they would get struck by lightning, catch on fire, or they would get struck by lightning, charged, and also catch on fire, and then die. It was really annoying. So I figured out that what I needed to do is actually have water in there so they would get struck when they get up here and then get put out. So then what I do is I lead them through here, and we lead them into the nether. So I'll charge him, open this up, and start moving back away. I've got this here, which the creepers won't go over, and they'll head towards me. You got to time it out nicely. And not dying, not dying. As you can see, things spawn here a lot. And I can run back here, and they'll run to the nether. So and this needs to be kind of done in tandem with somebody else, because you actually need somebody to be in the nether to load the chunks. Otherwise, they get stacked up here. So I'm in the nether now. We've got our little kitty cat, because the creepers hate kitty cats. So he'll come in here and immediately run away from the kitty cat, fall into the pit here, and get picked up by a minecart. And this is the same system I use in the villager area, that it'll keep doing this until it picks them up. And then they go into my loading queue. And that's this here. And this is just, because, I would use like a water-based queue if I could, like you do with the villagers nowadays, but you can't do that. So instead, I've got a system that queues them up using a pretty simple little repeated redstone circuit here with tripwire hooks. So whenever there's a creeper in this one, it turns off that rail, which means the next one gets saved in here, the next one gets saved in here, all the way back. And then I've also got a button on the outside over here, which you can't really see because I'm inside this whole system, that when you press the button, it releases the one, and the next one can go through. So that's that. And then this leads all the way over to our wither skeleton farm, which is actually not that far away, which is actually pretty nice. The only problem is it's just outside of the loaded chunks. Come on. Okay, I think I'm in. So again, it helps to do this to have two people. So you've got one person down taking care of the wither skeletons, collecting them, and one person down here loading this end. This takes us down to our wither skeleton farm that Herobrine built. Oh, I think Mech helped here as well. And down into here, and it's just standard wither skeleton farm. It's been doing really nicely lately. I've heard some stories of guys who have been getting 5 wither skeletons in a matter of a few minutes. But man, if only we could get, we could get 100%. So what this does is the skeleton ends up down here. Or the skeleton, the creeper ends up down here, and then all you have to do is hit your wither skeletons here a couple times to go and remove their damage, and then break the minecart, hold down with a shield, and then the creeper should blow up. Your shield should take all the damage, and then they die, and then you get 100% with their skeletons heads. So that's pretty much it. This, as I said, this is kind of a standard, fair, bog standard skeleton farm here. Where you just run back and forth. It's not the newfangled one that uses like a really long line and ice and all that, but anyways, that's the farm. That's the setup. And the nice thing about this is too, you can use it as a standard one as well. You don't have to use this with creepers. I tried out different things, sending wither skeletons back to the overworld, and that did not work well. I can't remember why, but there was a problem with it. It ended up being easier to move the charge creepers. So that's the system. I have maybe used it once successfully, and it's one of those things that just takes time, and you have to have somebody else to work with you in order to go and make it work. Also, somebody wanted me to say aluminum and glacier, and there was something else. Vitamin. So take your vitamins, kids. It will help you when you go visit a glacier. I don't know how to fit this in. Yeah. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.